Hey, y'all. How's it
Hey.
going out there in the streets?
All right. How about you?
All right. It's been a while since we last met
Mm-hmm.
for the cast of the
Yes.
podcast, if you don't speak Sandra.
That was at Tech Learn.
Yes. It
Yep.
was tech, it was learning, it was
Big nailed it.
streets. Appreciate it all.
Yep.
How was your week, pal?
That's been all right. It's been pretty productive. I've been able to check a few things off the old project plan. That's always a good thing. How about you?
It's been okay. It's been learning. I've been learning the things. It's been productive too. I've gotten a couple of items off my desk, which is always a great feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any fun plans for the weekend? I know we're barely what's today? Tuesday? Is it? Wednesday? Oh,
I was supposed to say, we have a dinner date this weekend.
we do. We sure do.
We have a dinner date, yes. And then on Sunday, I'm going to a friend's and we're having a pumpkin carving party. So it'll
Nice.
be fun with the kiddos.
That sounds like some good times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did briefly forget one that today was Wednesday still,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's felt like Monday every single day this week.
Yes, it's been a very Monday-y week, I would have to agree.
Yeah. We are trying to maximize October and get
Yes.
a little return of investment on the family costume situation. So every chance I get for my son to wear his costume, I am there. If he wants to play with it at home, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all the
Absolutely. I love that. Halloween is my favorite holiday, but I am way behind this year. Like my decorations are still half out. So my son is disappointed in me. He told me already. So I'll probably get on that this weekend too.
I mean,
Just
life is life in per use.
life is life. And yep.
Make a little pumpkin out there. I have a blow up. That's as good as she wrote. Like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep up. We're having a some of his little friends come over to the house and they're gonna do cupcake decorating, Halloween decorating on
Okay.
cupcakes. And then I'm gonna send them off to their moms full of sugar. You're welcome, moms.
Yeah.
Also, I get to
After
keep two of those, so
after Daniel gets a special one that doesn't have any sugar in it or anything, so
yeah.
you don't have to deal with it.
Mom, mine doesn't taste right. Does it?
Have you ever seen that movie with Billy Crystal and Bette Midler where they're the grandparents?
No, probably not.
So the daughter freaks out because the crazy grandparents, they don't ever let the kids see them because they're typical
Spoiler.
don't yeah, they don't feed him soy milk and all these things, and grandpa's a baseball announcer. And anyway, they end up coming to stay with the kids, and Billy Crystal buys a birthday cake and the daughter is like on the counter shoveling it. She's like, this does not taste like frozen yogurt.
Are you talking about the granddaughter?
The granddaughter is, she's like, but you lied, mom, you lied. Yep, that'll be Daniel one day, mom.
Here's the thing. I don't deprive him
I
of
know.
the things. I just have to put it in moderation for my sake because our little buddy, he's got the energy of like 15 kids, and my knees hurt. My back is hurting just thinking about having to chase him after sugar. But these are my choices later in life. Keep your comments to yourself, people. Um, but yeah, I am excited for the next 2 weeks of nothing but Halloweeny stuff.
That'll be
And
fun.
then we go straight into Dia de los Muertos.
Mm-hmm.
For us is a thing, the Latinos out here. And got to teach them a little bit about that. We're gonna hit up the library and try to get some books so it's more of digestible for him to understand and learn.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can find some YouTube videos for him to also learn about that. Look, we're teaching family too.
Mm-hmm.
This may or may not be a family show. You decide. I don't know. Speaking of learning the new things, oh guys, if you're just tuning in, where are my manners? This is Oops, I Am an ID with Sandra and
Shannon,
Shannon, or as I like to call her. Should I tell them your nickname? Maybe
you
not.
can tell. You can. That's fine.
It's not bad. It's shenanigans because she's always up to something.
That's probably the most appropriate nickname I've ever had in my life, so I'm cool with it.
After midnight, yes.
The shenanigans go down a
Yes.
little after midnight.
It's very entertaining. I support it 100%. So speaking of the things that we are teaching our youngins, have you learned anything since we last met?
Oh, I have been playing around a lot with the AI stuff from TechLearn, like writing more prompts. I actually had it and the images. So just today for a friend, right before we came down here, actually, I used an AI platform to like make a business logo for them. And I like it generated the colors and all the things, and it doesn't give you the logo, it gives you like a slanted view, so then you have to go still build it yourself.
Yeah.
But it was kind of cool because it gave me like 10 different ideas, and because he had specific things he wanted to portray, and so I sent one right before, and then they didn't say anything. Have you been there? Like nobody in the group chat. I was like, hey guys, check this out, and nothing. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go pass away now because you guys didn't say anything. And they were like, no, we're just busy. We love it. So that was a new way that I used that I didn't think of before. So it was cool.
That is pretty cool. Stay tuned. We might need to add those links or something in the show notes so other people also get to it.
Yep.
So one of my projects, actually, something that I learned was I'm starting to dip into a lot of videoing. I mean, I'm done videoing, right? This we've talked about this, but also I was videoing someone, up the chain of command at our organization, and it's one of those moments when you say, I got it, don't worry, trust me. And then whenever you're done, we're like, oh, should they have trusted me? I don't know. Stay tuned. You're doubting yourself. You're like, this is gonna be fun. So the whole thing was we do have a teleprompter, but we don't have the right equipment for it to stand on, right? And I ended up using the resources that we have, which was a ginormous TV, and I used that as a teleprompter. Well, the problem was that he was looking up.
Oh.
And not into the camera. So I was like, no, I got it.
I need to know what you did about that, because I think I came home and cried.
AI.
They were all able to fix it?
100%.
Awesome.
100%.
That's awesome.
Did it take some time to figure it out? Absolutely. But there goes that thing where we always talk about. I mean, that's part of our, of our sayings is like, you just say yes. And I went to my colleague who very graciously helped me out, but also she's like trying to learn, and that's, we talked about this part too. I encourage those that want to learn in our field to be there, but make time for it. Right. So she was there helping me set up everything. She was there early. She was asking the right questions. And then we were done with the production. And we're now going into let's get the files, let's edit. And then I walked into her office and I'm like, let's chat for a second. You remember that one time when I said I got it? I don't know what I was doing. I got it now. I figured it out. But the challenge is that finding that balance of when you say yes, I got it, and trust yourself and your other skills to pull you through. And there's just sometimes that you just got to back away and be like, no, I don't got it.
I mean, in today's world, we have a lot more things we can do, but 10 years ago, that'd have been a fumble. 15 would have been a fumble.
Oh, man. But because I was thinking outside of the box, I'm like, oh, I could definitely make this work. And I did, thankfully. They wouldn't know the difference. And so that worked out. I was able to learn something new. I was I'm not giving out all my secrets, right? There's some learning opportunity. There's some pain, that can grow, but know that it can be done.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to learn more how you did that. Absolutely. I used
I will try that.
CapCut for the first time this week for videos. I've not used that before.
Oh, nice.
And that's pretty cool. And it publishes right to social media frame size templates. So that is neat. It's very similar to Camtasia in a lot of ways. It was basically Camtasia. So,
It's just called something.
but but I had a free trial, so
Use that up, people.
mhm.
Where's my mouse? I'm trying to find the things. Which actually kind of brings us up to the next part that I kind of wanted to chat about is like the top 10 applications that instructional designers are using today that are actually not, yeah, top 10.
Yep. I've got some that I learned about this week that I'm like, I need to dive deeper, and some that I'm noticing. I knew what they are and I've used them, but I didn't realize they were moving into more of an industry standard.
Ooh, go ahead and start yours off then.
Well, like Beyond.
Oh, okay.
That's like job descriptions are asking for experience in that. Like I've seen it.
Wow. And our
And yeah. And then I was looking, I was honestly trolling Reddit for just tools people are using. And somebody was talking about Genially, and I didn't know what it was. So I went and looked it up. And it creates games for you, presentations, it incorporates AI. Like, I didn't get to dive in a lot, but I'm going to be. And several people on the thread were like, that's all I use now.
nice.
I am going to check it out. They talked about coming up with class like activities and just like quickly generating some type of game. There's like escape rooms in there you can make. So need to check that out more. But it seemed to be, I don't know that that's industry standard yet, but like a lot of people on the instructional design thread were raving.
We're going to talk about industry standards here in a bit too. But for the people on the back, what's that name of the application software?
That I just talked about?
Mhm.
Genially.
Genially. Okay. I mean, I did a little quick search. Actually, that's a lie. I fibbed. I didn't actually do a search. What I ended up doing was I told it myself. I went to ChatGPT and
Mm-hmm.
I modified my question about 4 times. And I asked, what are the top 10 applications and software tools for instructional designers? What are they? And provide me also with the resources and also provide me articles that support that these are like the top 10.
Well, I'm interested in this list.
I was a little bit disappointed.
Were you? Because it is PowerPoint on it.
Yes.
How did I word?
Here, let me tell you.
Okay.
I'm gonna start top 10. Okay, starting from the bottom. No, actually, I think I'm gonna start from the top because that's the lamest. Okay. Well, not the lamest. Articulate, if you're listening to us and would like to sponsor, I was just kidding. So it's Articulate 360.
It's the most obvious. It is a very useful tool, but
It
I
is.
mean, the most obvious used by everybody.
Adobe Captivate. No shocker. Now you see my disappointment.
Right.
Camtasia.
Mm-hmm.
PowerPoint. Womp womp.
Yeah.
Google Workspace.
Interesting.
Then it came out with learning management systems, which are Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard, etc. Okay, I guess. Canva. If you're not using Canva, you guys, you
right.
need to. If you don't have a lot of artistic ability, or if you need a place where you can generate ideas, go to that. I 100. Yeah, I mean, just do
I
it.
need ideas generated. I struggle, and we talked about that, I think, in the second podcast. I struggle getting started, but
Mm-hmm.
Canva is my go-to, and it saves me so much time because you can just go in and type kind of what you're looking for, and pictures will come up. And the AI image generator, that's been huge for me. But Canva is, everybody should have their own personal subscription to Canva.
Yes, even like she said, even if it's your personal one, because you can learn a lot from that, and I think it
Mm-hmm.
like pays itself out as much as you
Mm-hmm.
use. The other part was Trello and Asana, which are project management tools. I get it. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I have my feelings about it. It is what it is.
Not exactly what I thought was going to be. I didn't expect learning management systems to be on there, but they do build quizzes in learning management systems and things like that, but I don't look at that as an authoring tool.
Nope. Or right.
I'm noticing there's a lot more that are like cloud-based web services that, like Canva, like that's what Genially is, like Beyond. A lot of them are like sites you go to instead of big old software you download on your computer.
I think those days have gone. Gone are the days of installing things in your computer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's another disappointment. Survey Monkey and Google Forms.
Survey Monkey?
We couldn't do Qualtrics, you guys. Qualtrics was okay back in the day. Am I showing my age? Okay.
Maybe just a little bit, but I am the old woman of our friendship in our little group.
You actually are not. We talked about this, that I am an old person.
Well, I am oldest in age. You are oldest in soul.
I was going to say soul. Don't you dare talk about my knees.
I said soul. No, I got the old knees.
I can't wait for this winter when the pain starts hitting. So, and the last disappointment is Zoom and Teams. Ladies and gentlemen, let this be a lesson to you. Do more research. Do not
Teams. So I think this is a perfect point to bring up because we've talked a lot about using AI. And I honestly even saw a TikTok the other day where a teacher was like, what's the point of teaching anymore if the students are just going to, use ChatGPT and AI for everything? And the comments were reassuring because they were all, change the way you teach. You have to change the way you teach, just like 30 years ago when you were told by your teacher, you're not always going to have a calculator. Well, yeah, we do, right? Can I math in my head? No. I got the calculator though. Do I have to understand how to use math if I want to apply it in life scenarios though? Yes, the calculator doesn't do that for you, and neither does AI. And that was a huge thing at TechLearn.
Oh, yeah.
So, and your list right there's the perfect example. You wrote a prompt and it gave you top 10, and we know it is not a conducive list. It's not top 10 really.
Low
But
expectations.
I bet if you worked on the prompt, and some of those classes said it takes like 10, 20, 30 times.
This was a good old 3 or 4 times. And am I disappointed? Yes. But this is actually, I did this on purpose, you guys, so that you can learn what not to do. You're welcome. I just saved you some time. So that's what I got from that. Disappointed.
What's cool is your ChatGPT login. If you tell it, if you reply back and say, actually, Teams and Zoom are not anything what I'm looking for. I want you to find more tools that do these things. It learns from you. And I didn't even realize that until I asked it to generate something for me. And I can't remember what it was. And it came up with a bunch of things I'd put in there weeks ago. and spit them back out. So
So
that was kind of cool.
I like that you said that because I was also reading something else about ChatGPT while I was in this adventure of learning. I'm by no means a pro at this, guys. Like, really, don't listen to my nonsense. Um, but it's taking an action, right? So develop a simulation for learners. It's the create a self-assessment. It's you're asking it to do something, not just a question. You're telling it to do something, and that was one of my mistakes. But I'm like, I'm gonna stick with this.
Mm-hmm.
Not backing down. Let's see where this goes. We saw and we failed, and it's a we now. It's not just me. It's a we now. But yeah, I learned that, and I actually pulled up some. I think it was an article from a LinkedIn, ladies and gentlemen. If you're interested, we'll post that on the chat, on the show notes, and in the little box if you're watching this on YouTube's. That said 10 top 100 ChatGPT prompts for e-learning instructional designers. So somebody posted that on June 26, 2024, this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna put that on there, and it's 100 of them, and it breaks it down into different sections of course, design and development, which yes, interactive elements, assessment and evaluation, multimedia and visual aids for those that are struggling in that area, that might be helpful. Engagement and strategies, accessibility and inclusivity. You guys, that's really important. Let's not forget that. And then course promotion and communication, which also is something that we need to really focus on because we can't just throw a course out there and then hope that it gets, seen, especially if you have a large LMS that you're working with and it's not like an updated course. You need to communicate and find effective ways to market those courses. And then also technology and tools, continuous improvement and evaluation, and then learner support and communication. It's nice. It's a nice little list, and I'll share it with you guys on the show notes, or at least a link so the person who wrote this could get credit for it. You can follow.
How about? I didn't hear video scripting on there.
Could it be under multimedia?
Oh, it probably could. Yep.
Yeah, it says create an engagement video tutorial on whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Design a slide deck. Oh, that one hurt a little. That one was personal, you guys.
That was personal. I can tell it to start, design it, and then fine tune it from there, but it at least put some stuff on the slide that takes time.
It's not just a clickety clack. Images matter. Colors
Images do matter. They do. Placement matters.
It matters, you guys. But you guys already knew that if you're listening to that. And if you don't know, now you know. Okay. So we already did that did you know part. Like, you know that video you can edit eyes.
I did. That's cool.
Eyesight with AI. If you don't know, now you know. So
that is like a power save there. Like, I think if we had you need to insert like a crowd clapping for you right now. Like, that's because that's top tier, friend.
Thank you.
Like fixing the eyes with AI. I'm impressed. That's awesome.
Me too. I was like, who does she think she is? Coming in here, following through and saying, don't worry, I got this, with all the confidence in the world. I did it. I followed through, and I was shocked. Doing that little happy dance, like, hey.
I would have loved to have been in the room when you looked at that video for the first time and saw the eyes looking up.
When I saw it looking up, I'm like, I messed up. I actually didn't say I messed up. I said words that are similar to I messed up.
But not podcast.
Royally.
I get it.
I royally messed up. So then I'm like, how am I going to fix this? And I'm not gonna lie, I clenched a little. I sweated out. I was like, maybe these are the times where you just need to back up, Sandra, and maybe you're not as good as you think you are. But But then I do it and I'm like, girl, you were full of it. You are that.
Like, yeah.
This is why I don't need a gold star, you guys, because I am my own cheerleader. I'm full of it. Please don't hate me, guys. I'm just joking. Okay, remember when? Okay, so here's another. This one actually was a little bit better. What are we doing now that we used to do that we do different?
Mm.
So
Mm.
I mean, this one is straight obvious. Okay, this one's straight obvious. Print-based materials, right? We don't do a lot of that. We still do.
Printing?
Yes.
What's that?
Ah!
Like print a piece of paper?
Piece of paper, like a handbook or a, it's
So what I do,
tablet.
I kept buying printers and they kept going bad because you have to use them. And if
Yeah.
you don't, the print head dries out. And then I'd go to use it and it was no good. So now I have the Outlook email address for the UPS store up the road. And I just forward it, drive through and grab it. But yes, you are right. We used to have to print a bunch of stuff. You do not have to do that anymore.
Some people in our organization still have to, because of the
Mhm.
material and stuff like that, like the actual material. But a lot of people are actually going for digital formats, and that's become like the new norm. And then they try to like make it more interactive. So use your phone to fill out this survey or use
Yep.
this to answer this question. I don't know. Like I feel some type of way about it because after you walk away from the class, what do you get from it?
I don't know. I mean,
You
I'd
know,
rather have it on my phone than a piece of paper. I'm going to shove it in my car and lose it probably. Or
but you don't remember writing things down and then you don't get to retain you don't retain that more.
I do if, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, like activities and stuff, sometimes writing things down, like the kinetic learners, not kinetic, that's the wrong word. Kinesthetic learners, the
And I
doers.
agreed with what you said. That's it's been a day per use.
I'm like, kinetic. I should have just rolled with it and waited until someone
Somebody
noticed, but they're the doers. So writing it, and I'm not an auditory learner, so I can't just listen to somebody. I'll have no idea what you said.
right.
I have to have some visual um, things I'm doing or seeing. I have to be doing some things. That's the only way it sticks.
And I thought that was very interesting because mind if I go into a tangent real quick, if you mind or not. I
You're
will.
gonna
That's
anyway.
what
That's
I'm
okay.
going to do it anyway because that's what
Do
I
you
thought
really care? Is that a rhetorical question? I
it
think it
was. I
is.
was trying to be polite, but that went out the window. So, um, I get the whole streamlining process of it, and maybe it's user end experience. So, I went to a concert. Look at me going to a concert on Sunday night. I did. Don't get too crazy. I went with my mom. It was for her, and we had a blast. But to say this, we got to the parking lot, and back in the day, you used to have to pay them cash, right? And you get
Mhm.
a ticket, and that's how you know you paid. This time around, although I do appreciate, if I was on the other end, I think I'd appreciate it more, but not in the user end, is what I'm trying to say. So I go in, I have to scan a QR code. It takes me to their payment process.
Mm,
And yes, it's more streamlined, but there's a process fee when I used to not have to do that.
right.
So, not all of those, unless you hide that, where you don't let the user know that there's or a client or whatever, the customer know that there's a processing fee, I felt some type of way about it.
I have a friend that refuses to pay those. Like he would park down the road, and anytime it's there, he'll be like, "I'll mail you a check then," or what. It will not pay them. It doesn't matter if it's $2.
Yes. Well, if you don't know, also, I don't like, I'm not saying that I never use them. Okay. So don't come for me. Self checkout.
Mm,
Because
yeah.
I feel like if I'm going to do it, I need an employee discount. Okay. Rant is over. It's about the user and experience where we used to not do that. Now it's becoming user and experience is more important.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of brings up the next one is, we used to believe that one size fits all training, where it was like a standard for all the learners to know all the information, regardless of what level they were coming into.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't really necessarily doing like pre-assessments to see where they're at. But I mean, are we doing that still? Kind of. If you're taking emotional intelligence, do you take a quiz or a pre-assessment before?
I'm not aware on that one.
Or leaders coming in, do you take a pre-assessment? I mean, you probably don't know that, but put it out there for anybody who's listening. Like, do you guys do that? And when you get the feedback or the results back, what do you do with that?
Mm-hmm.
You change the style of teaching?
Mm-hmm. You should, but I doubt anybody is.
Right. And how could you?
Mm-hmm.
How are you dealing with that? That's my question for the audience. If you're out there in, instructional design land, what are y'all doing to accommodate for that? So it
Mm-hmm.
says right now that some people are like creating personalized and adaptive learning experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of a la carte and for individuals. But I want to know more about that. Like, how are you managing that, and it's still being, one, sustainable, two, cost. How is that related to how you're building your courses, how you're training in person? How is
Yep.
that? What are
In a
you?
world where everybody wants things built right now and yesterday,
Mhm.
and they just want it out there, and they're not always focused on actually changing the behavior and measuring it and slowing down to do it effectively.
I like that because it's a segue for this other one. Man, you're honest, Shannon.
I don't even know. I don't even have a teleprompter. I mean,
You don't. I don't have to fix your eyes later.
right.
Thank you. So we used to do a lot of the linear instructional design models. You remember,
Mm-hmm.
guys, if you don't know Addie and you're new to the game, it stands for analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. And a lot of the times, we're not very flexible about organization. I don't want to say we, but organizations or groups or whatever, they don't tend to be very flexible. You have to be able to analyze first and then design it and then develop and then implement and then evaluate. But we tend to kind of forget about the evaluation part.
It ends up being like kind of a little A DDI. No,
Yeah. Yeah. little tiny.
a little A, not the full Addy all caps. Like the A is just kind of abridged because sometimes, and then there's times you just get told what the need is.
And you trust it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're the SME, and rightfully so. I'm not going to question the SME. You know what you know. I know what I know, and I don't know what you know. Does that make sense? Question mark. It did in my head. So what they're doing now is that they're starting to shift towards a more agile approach, and they're starting to do feedback, like continuous feedback and adjustments. How? Like, are you going out there after the course and are you sending out forms? Are people filling these out? I have questions.
Are people filling these forms out?
Are they? How do you get them to do it? What kind of questions are you asking? I guess, again, these are for the questions for the masses. I wish I had the answers for you guys. I mean, I would just say, hey, fill out a form and that's it. But
I think it's going to totally depend on what the content is and what the goal is.
right.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of psychology pieces to it. There was some cool stuff about gamification, talking about how you get learners to buy into your training, and at different levels within the corporate ladder, people are different type of gamers. You're going to have the more like savage ones once you get to the top execs. And you might have more philanthropists like at the bottom. But that's how you build your learning with that in mind and keep them engaged.
So
That
that
was,
then what you're saying then actually supports the not all training fits all.
it doesn't, not at all.
Size fits all. No.
100%.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so here's the other piece, which I kind of support, and then I'm never 100% on something. Well, that's not true. See, never. Point made. Um, Heavy on text. So we used to do a lot of courses that often rely on like, here's a text, here are the resources, here are the articles, and it was just a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen now that we're moving more towards multimedia content, like we'll send a video and things like that. We'll do podcasts, plug, interactive simulations. But my question too is, are they still experiencing that information overload? Like, is there research already done that this method is better? Yeah, it's cool, but
I think you can still have an information, and it's just my thoughts. I am nobody. I am not an expert in, um, I have not studied it. But I mean, you can still have a video that's way too long and someone tunes out. You could have a game that's got too many pieces in it and nobody remembers what the first part was. So it still has to be effective.
right. Because I'm thinking about when you're on the TikToks, how much of that are you retaining? Because you're scrolling.
A
So
lot. You know this. I am a
you are
wealth
the
of useless, random, not all useless, random,
no,
some useless information. I do but TikTok is like 3 minutes or less, and I don't watch most of the 3 minute videos. They have to capture me within like the first 10 seconds, or I'm on to the next one. Instant gratification.
So wouldn't it be cool if we had a course like that?
Yes. That's you know what? File that away. Let's circle back on that.
Coming soon, you guys. We're gonna set something out.
TikTok learning.
Yes. I'm not kidding. I'm dead
No.
serious. I'm trying to keep up with the times.
Mm-hmm. For real. I'm with
You
you.
know what? For leaders too. Wouldn't that be cool?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, leader, say this and not that.
Well, even there's a project that I have next year, and I can't remember what it's called, but I know it is monthly um, things for leaders, like behavior boosters. And why can't it be a quick 1 minute video?
TikTok style.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to think more on that.
Somebody to help you or teach you how to do the video. I mean, you got this though. But if you need somebody there, count on me. What is it? The Friends. No, that's not the Friends. The Golden Girls. The girl.
Oh
Golden
yeah,
Girls.
I love that show. That was my grandma.
Oh,
I have a remember when.
ooh, go for it.
So I found it cleaning my office today, and there is a friend, and a friend who's an instructional designer.
Okay.
That we were on this project, and it was just dragging on and on. And if I remember correctly, they were making us use Muse, Adobe Muse, which is for web pages.
Yes.
But they were making us build this whole project in Muse. And she sent me something in the mail to like signify the project, and I found it today, and I've had this in my office for 15 years. So, and she watches the podcast, so she'll laugh when she sees it. Kathy, I still have this.
Funny. Oh, I think I know what friend you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna say your name, friend. But that's also awesome. Also bring it into nope, can't do that. Strike that. Like,
right?
that's cute though.
That's the perfect office decor, home office decor.
One of our peers actually found a snowball in an office, and I'm thinking it might be yours? Question mark. I don't know. Anyways, I told her. She's like, "What is this?" And I said, "That's a snowball." And she's like, "It's a mic." And she's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like,
Oh, no, there was an extra one, I think. Mine's here.
"Okay." My personal one is here and right there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, "Keep it. Put it in your office. Now that you're trying to become an ID,
Right?
now you're gonna start playing the role."
There you go.
There's your very first piece of equipment, a 1980 snowball.
They still look the same.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you don't gotta fix it if it's not broken.
I don't know where now I'm looking around, where is mine? But the one place I know it is not in the office.
Oh, shenanigan. Oh, shenanigan. Okay, so we talked about the remember wins.
We went down the list, man. I wrote it down. Like we were we were on point.
We sure were.
Mm-hmm.
Right, look at us being kind of organized. I
I
feel
know,
like
right?
it went by quick.
It's already 6:30.
If you're listening or watching, recording after hours, okay?
Yes.
Again, people.
In the PM. In the PM.
In the PM.
Well into the PM.
Stay in your lane. We got this. Oh, she's feisty today. I'm sorry, you guys.
I mean, yes, we're doing it in the PM because the loads of money we're making off of this podcast so far, we would never.
I could quit my job. No, I couldn't. This is 100% for fun.
Yes, absolutely.
We were actually trying to test out how far we would go for an idea, and then we got past commitment. We're like, oh, actually we're doing this, and then two people with ADHD, it doesn't help.
I honestly am surprised we're on episode 5. Like, go us. I'd like to give us a round of applause because this idea started on a random text. You had been thinking about it, but never said anything to me. Mm-hmm. And then I just one night, because that's what I do, text random stuff out of the blue, was like, we should do a podcast. And you were like, bet, I've already got 20 episodes planned. When do we start? And then I didn't think it would leave the chat, but it did. And here we are.
Oh, I knew it was going to leave the chat. I just knew that I had to do it in a pace that you were comfortable with because I already was ready.
You were ready to go?
Ready. Yes. I'm like, all I need is a friend that will do this with me, because as much as I like to listen to myself talk, I also need somebody else to kind of respond.
Someone has to be here interacting. I mean, you are not wrong. My ADHD does ADHD hard. I have a hard time getting started. But then once I'm focused, watch out, because I'm not stopping for like 18 hours for days. Like, I'm in.
I'm and this balances us very well, because you're more of like, I have a great idea, and I'm like, great, I've already implemented a plan that you may or may not be aware of. And I just kind of guide you there, and then you're like, yes, and also we should do this. Absolutely. Writing it down. That's a great idea.
It works.
It does. It's fun. It's no pressure.
Yep.
As it should be. All right, guys. It's been real chatting with y'all today in the PMs.
Mm-hmm.
Stay tuned for the next episode. I need to come up with something else.
You'll get it. We need to have like an intro and outro ultimately, like, or we already have the kind of intro, but like music, our catchphrase. See you next week. I'm going to go back to just barely meeting expectations.
Lower expectations. Mad. If y'all watch Mad TV, that's where it's from. If you don't, yet another disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, I'm glad that you're barely meeting them, but barely is better than nothing.
I think we should add, okay, so like we're kind of ad-libbing now, right? And
Yeah.
we're good, and you're gonna edit me out. I think we should have an episode on how
Oh, all of what you just said right now totally got bleeped in case you did not. No, but we could talk about reviews,
we could have
annual cycles. That's
annual
going.
cycles, corporate America. That's it. Corporate America and its unwillingness to move into the modern world.
Oh, that's a good topic.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are your struggles? Because I know, like, we just came up with a cool idea. Can we execute it like skillfully? Absolutely. But will our organization stand behind us? Will they be ready? Will they accept a new challenge, a new method of delivering training? I don't know. Stay tuned. We need to talk about that. Dear
Yes.
ChatGPT.
See, this is one of those ideas like that I just randomly.
Like, it's always, they get better as the night goes on, guys. Just know that.
Dear ChatGPT, yes. I will have it generating some ideas for. I think that's a good thing to talk. And I think because not everybody who's an instructional designer is necessarily in the corporate space.
No, we have freelancers.
Yep.
We have a lot of freelancers. We have people that are working at universities, small companies, or like the ones that contracted companies, as contractors. It's probably freelance too. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's not all equal. It's not, we've been saying that though. They know about the pod. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for listening. Can you like and subscribe too? Thanks. That will help our numbers because we need more.
Yep. I actually talked with someone about it today and they want the link. So it was like, say less. I will send that to you.
Yay. That's awesome. I'm a little shy about it. I got to get better. You put it on your website. I need to put it on mine. I'm like really close to putting it on our LinkedIn.
It's on my LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
It's linked on to our YouTube on my LinkedIn too.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I just threw you right into the deep end of cold water there. But
it's fine.
I also checked my LinkedIn views earlier today and no one's looked at it in the past month, so you're good, girl.
Then you need to update your stuff because I'm getting a lot of looks and I don't know why.
I appeared in searches, it said, but like, and if it's recruiters, you can't see who they are. So there were some of those, but
she got the premium, which I get it, you guys, you gotta make revenue, but come on, help me out. Like, I don't get it because if I don't have a job and I'm trying to find a job, maybe I can't afford the monthly subscription to whatever.
Also, Articulate, can we have a monthly subscription, please? Like, come on. Where are you?
Ooh, how much is it for the annual?
It is like $1,200.
Oh.
Yeah. $1,200.
I mean, it would pay on itself if you have a lot of jobs.
If you had a lot of jobs, yes. Like, and you're yes, if you have a lot of jobs, it will pay itself. But come on.
And like, you can deduct it if you're
monthly subscription. Everyone else has one. Everyone else has an option. Like, where are you at?
Again, Articulate. You're gonna hate us by the end of this. But if you would like to sponsor us, I wouldn't say no.
That has to be a TikTok clip. Articulate, where's your monthly subscription? And I'm going to tag them and see if they come comment.
And she's going to use our podcast channel, of course.
I mean, hey, just get noticed.
She just, woo, my blood pressure girl. Woo.
Take a breath.
It's trying to like, grow a teenager. You never know what they're gonna say or do. You just gotta stay ready.
I'm like raising a teenager.
Raising, I say grow. You're gonna grow a teenager. Water it. Feed it.
Oh my goodness. This one's gonna be funny.
Yeah, I'm tired. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wait until our next episode. We're probably gonna do it, and I'm not gonna tell you because we probably won't. But at least once a month. That's where we're at in life right now. So check us out. Make sure that you comment and subscribe and like and do all those things. And if you have any feedback on the questions that we asked, please do so. We'd love to hear from you. That's it. See y'all guys next time. Bye. You're not gonna do your piece?
Peace. No.
See?
No.